Hello guys, welcome back to our RXJS series. So here, first let us discuss. We have prepared here lots of questions here around related to interview. Like you can just show you start and ending for RxJS. RxJS is the most important part of interview because without asking from the RxJS questions, interview has not been completed yet. So here we have prepared some of the questions related to RxJS. We need to see first, okay, whatever we have covered in the series. So RxJS interview questions here, all 27 questions. So whatever the questions asking from the interviewer, I will just take it from there. Okay, so one by one we will cover from the series. So without wasting time, let's start. So our first question is, what is RxJS? Okay, really for study, if you are mentioning the RxJS in your CV or your resume, then you can know like what is RxJS here. So RxJS is a library for a reactive stream which can be used to deal with asynchronous data stream and event called reactive extensions for JavaScript. So RxJS means reactive extensions for JavaScript. You can also directly call it as RxJS can be handled the stream of data. Okay, or you can call it as RxJS is a nothing but it is a stream of data. Okay, so JavaScript reactive programming is a very popular because it makes writing asynchronous code simple for the developers. Okay, so I think this is enough for RxJS. Now, next question is, what is stream? Because we have added here RxJS is a stream of data. So here the stream is a key part of reactive programming. In a simple stream, a string refers to value of a data over time. Like if it is having 2 GB data now, so it will transfer in a 100 MBs from database to our this one, what we can call RxJS series. From RxJS, it will just convert it into the observable. Okay, so the key itself says like a string refers to a value of a data over time. It means it will running over a period of time. That's why the loading time will not be calculated here right now. Like whatever YouTube, if you have seen the videos, so lots of videos are there. So, but once we will uh, click on one video, after that second video, after that third videos, but data will be not loaded. Why? It will take data from the database and it will load one by one. Okay, same thing will done by promises also, but promise will take like if there is a 2 GBs of data, it will take directly from 2 GBs and it will show you one by one. I mean, it will emit one by one data. But in the case of RxJS, it will take if there's a 2 GBs of data from the backend database, it will take 100 MBs if it is having like one video is having 10 MB, so it will take only 10 MBs. After that 10 MBs, after that 20 MBs, whatever the videos data is there. Okay. So stream refers to values of data over a time. So this is the meaning of streams. Okay. Now the reason it being called the stream is you should think of the data as continuously and not really having an end. So whatever I have discussed here in a layman language, same thing is written here in a formal language. Unless you explicitly define as end. It means that when you cannot declare here what is the end time of the running this one, so it will run at the period of time. Okay. Now the next question is related to this stream is what is observable. So observable is a nothing, but it represents the idea of invocable collection of future values or events. What does it mean? Key You RxJS model asynchronous data stream using observable sequentially, or you can call it as observable. An observable is an object that over time and asynchronous emits a multiple data's value. I think you got my point. Like not a single value, it is a emits a multiple records or multiple data over the periods of time. Okay. Now the next question is, what is difference between observable and promises? This is a very most important question. You can just written here most important. Okay, very most important. Okay, so this question you need to know before going for the interview. So the difference between promises and observable is a promise emits a single event at the compilation of, or you can call it as failure of an asynchronous program of operations. Means promise emits a single value, but whereas if you are discussing about observable, it emit multiple records at a period of over a period of time. Promise is not lazy. A promise cannot be cancelled. But if you are talking about observable, so observable you can cancel. Observable is a lazy. Okay. So if you are talking about its unit of multiple value over a period of time and observable is a cold, it is not called unit and registered. You may cancel the observable with using unsubscribe keywords or methods. Observable provide a lot of efficiency operators like map, for each, filter, reduce, retry when, etc. Okay. Now the next question is, what is difference between cold and hot observable? So the cold observable start to run in up to subscription. So observable sequence only start pushing values to observer when the subscriber is called. You can use code observable if you don't want to produce data before any observer is subscribed. For example, Ajax call. Hot observable produce value even before subscription made. Hot observables such as mouse move, events, stop pickers, or WebSockets connection and already produced in a value even before subscription as active. So now next question is, what are RxJS operators? So the key streams part of reactive programming. An operator is just simply is a method act as observable and it changes of a stream in some way. The purpose of operator is to modify the filter originally emitting values and we need for the project task. Got it, I think. So if we want to modify it or emitting any data, any records, so we can use the operator of RxJS. Like if it is 2 plus 2, so if we want to show within a 2, 4, 6 data is there, if we want to multiply it within into 10, so we need to use map operator. Okay, so output will be shown here. If we are multiply 2 into 10, then it is 20. If we want to multiply it into 4 into 10, it is a 40. If we want to multiply it into 6 into 10, it is 60. So where we are using to manipulate the data for records showing as a multiply into 10. If you want to filter it like it is 2, 4, 6 data is there. If you want to filter data for the 4 instead of that array, so we need to use filter operators there. Okay. Now next question is, what is observer and subscriptions? This is also important question here. Observer and subscription are related to the concept of observable. Observer here is to the set of callback that know how to listen to the value of observable. I think you know. Like when the data will be coming here from the observable, it will send data like that is format of like if it is function, it is any other things or any callback functions, any pivot data or anything else data. If it is coming from observable, it will send directly to the observable. Okay, so now the observer, what observer here is doing. Observer are also referred to as a listener. Listener means same concept, whatever the observable here doing it, listener also doing the same. Okay, you can call it as consumer also. So they can also doing the same thing where the observer are there. It will take the data from the observer, and observer will listen or subscribe to the data being observed. Whatever the data are there coming from observable, it will just subscribe the data from the observer. Now the subscription method is here coming. Subscription, what subscription is doing here? Subscription is an observable execution. Subscriptions are the object returned when an observable is subscribed. Now subscription is a useful mainly to cancel and executions. Okay. Again, next question is coming here. What is subject? Subject are a special type of observable. So you can also subscribe to the observable and listen to the published data. The next question is, what are different types of subject? So there are two types of subject in RxJS here is. One is a behavioral subject and second one is a replay subject. What is behavioral subject here is, or what is difference between both? So subject means subscribe at a later date will not obtain the data value immediate periods of the subscriptions. So replay subject means replay subjects observer who are subscribed at a later point will receive all the old data value issued prior to their subscription, as it operates by using a buffer that holds the value emitted and re-emits, replying a sequence of old values once new observer are subscribed. Now, second one is behavioral subject. So, behavioral subject functions similar to the replay subject, but only the reissues are last emitted value, current value you can call it as. So, you are interested in the last or current value of the observer if behavioral subject is useful. Okay. Now, the next question is, what is reactive programming? The reactive programming, it is as just built to the different stream and operations that takes place those flows by the specifying the whole programs and will use RxJS for some aspects of the internal service such as HTTP, router, etc. Okay, so most of the frameworks are there. Like right now we are using 14 or 16 framework from the Angular side. So this is the framework something. So tutorials are there. Now the next question is, what is RxJS map and what is higher order observable mapping? So the RxJS mapping operator lets us program and the payload of the observable into the something else. The power of observable is revealed when you start using Rx operators to transform, combine, manipulate, and work with sequence of items emitted by the observable. To understand RxJS map, now have observable mapping. We'll see here. The next question is, when we use switch map, merge map, and concat map. Concat map, merge map, and switch map, and exhaust map, exhaust map all are the operators used to flatten observables, but they are applicable in very different scenarios. This can be scenarios. Switch map and merge map are probably going to be the most powerful and the frequently used operators. Okay, but it is thereby critical to understand the difference between two in order to spend less time debugging code. Now the next question is, what is concat map in RxJS? Project source value in observable which is merged in output observable specifying fashion writing for each and the complete before merging to the next official RxJS. What is RxJS merge map? Merge map allows to multiple inner subscriptions to be active at a time. Because of this, one of the most common use case is a merge map is a requesting should be the cancelled. Next question is, what is RxJS switch map? Switch map means the switching a new observable into the previous inner observable, the result of the function to be provided to be cancelled on each image of the observable subscribe. The next question is, what is NGRX? NGRX stands for Angular Reactive Extensions. It provides the reactive state management of the Angular app inspired by the Redux. NGRX has libraries for managing both global and local state. Isolation of the side effects in order to achieving a more streamlined component architecture. You need to see here the graph, like component here is which dispatch the actions and handled by reducer and it will goes to the new state. Okay, so the same things will be happening with NGRX. Now next question is, when we use chip and combine latest and with latest form. So this is the very good concept of combining latest function and with the latest form. Is operator to allow the combine to the few observable sequence in a different ways. So the operator usually accept the observable as their params and also they return the observable that emits array with value produced by the argument observables. Now the next question is, what is Angular? Angular here, why we are adding here, because you might be know somebody known about Angular, but Angular question here we are adding because of just recompile your code in your mind that what is Angular here is. So it is a framework, Angular framework, front-end framework, which was developed by build single piece application. Okay. Next question is, how do you build full stack web application? So for that, you can extremely focus to the modern web application development is Spring Boot, Angular or a strong developer friendly combination if you want to create a full stack web application. The next question is, how to implement authentication and web application. We can use Spring Boot JWT token with Angular for token authentication in a web application. Okay. Now the next question is, what is latest version of Angular? So latest version of Angular is now 16. Okay. What is difference between Angular and AngularJS? So AngularJS supports the MVC architecture where if you are talking about Angular, so Angular support component-based architecture. Okay. So mainly difference is directly here is. Now the next question is, what is Angular material? So Angular material is a library. Angular material helps to create attractive consistency and fully functional based applications. Okay. So I think these are the enough for this one, but one more question is there. What is AOT? So AOT means ahead of time compilations. Okay. What basically it is doing to pre-compile application component and data template during the build process. Okay. So next question is, what is new with Angular 8 features? So in Angular 8, if you are talking, it is officially released in 2019. So we are we are adding the differential loading of modern JavaScript, and JavaScript ECMA 5 is there in Angular 8. TypeScript support 3.4, also new version of Angular 8, updated core dependencies, also lots of libraries are there, lots of things are there. So you have to see. Okay. So I think it is enough for that. So what is new version of Angular 6? So this is the basic questions to see, okay, from your side. So what is the view encapsulation? How many ways there? Yeah, this is a good question. So view encapsulation determines where the styles define the particular components will affect the entire application or not, like emulated, native, and none. These are three types of view encapsulation. So first one is styling used to other HTML is separated to the component. Second one is a native style used to be other HTML does not separated to the other component. Third one is none style defines to the component visible to all components of the application or not. So that's it for today, sister. And I think hope you are enjoying this video. So best of luck for your interview. This is for RXJS series. Now next series will very soon connect with you for JavaScript. Thank you so much for this session for your interview. Bye bye.